Hey, I'm Jen.
And I'm BJ, and this is Chandra's Breakthrough Story. Jennifer and I, we met at Crossover Church, and we met in the kids ministry department. Fast forward 2014, tied the knot. Then we were starting to plan a family in 2016, but of course we want to get out, traveling and everything out of the way, make sure that we can connect first as a husband and a wife, because that's definitely our first priority, God, husband and wife, and then kids after that. So eventually 2016, we started our journey with starting a family. And we knew that starting a family is going to be tough as it is, because 2014, in our marriage, our first year of marriage, we lost a baby. We had a miscarriage. So it's been tough. We knew it was a tough ride, but we knew who was in the driver's seat.
So after a few months of us trying, actually several months, we basically just came to a point in our life where we were just like, you know what, this is so frustrating. It's so discouraging. We're not going to try anymore. And literally that evening, thanks to technology, we realized that we conceived. And so fast forward to our first appointment, and we were so excited, and we were just like, we're pregnant. This is so great. And then we went and we saw the ultrasound, and it was just like this little dot on the screen that didn't even look like a human yet. But then the doctor comes in, and he's like, oh, well, there's no heartbeat, and there's this giant mass, and I'm not going to congratulate you because you're going to lose the baby. And so we left the doctor appointment that day feeling so discouraged and honestly so broken, and I was just so frustrated with God and asking him, like, why did you allow me to experience this? Like, why did you give us this joy if you were just going to take it away from us? And all God said was just wait. And so we did, and we prayed, and we started really seeking him and just saying, okay, God, whatever you're going to do, like, give us the grace and the faith to get through it, because we didn't have the faith. I didn't have the faith at the time. And so a few appointments later, they ended up finding a heartbeat, which is so awesome. But the doctor was very candid and said, listen, this is going to be a really hard journey. So get ready for it. And so we did. And we had so many appointments, and I had to have a procedure done to basically help keep the baby inside. I was on bed rest, and it felt like every other week we were in a doctor appointment. Every other week there was a different complication. Every other week it was a hospital visit. It was insane, so insane. And they were kind of predicting him to come out when I was 6 months pregnant, and just said, listen, when he comes when you're 6 months, he'll just be in NICU, and he'll be on some ventilators, and in a few months you'll be able to take him home. And so that was kind of like what we were prepared for, that he was just going to be, sick, and we would just kind of deal with it. But 6 months came, and he was fine, and he was still in the belly, and I was growing, and 7 months came, and he was still in the belly, and 8 months came, and then 9 months came, and then we were like, oh my, wait a minute, we made it. Yeah. And so around when I was 37 weeks, literally on the day, it was the day that I had to undo the procedure. They had basically sewn me up. And so I woke up that morning with a lot of complications, and the doctors ended up sending me to the hospital that day. And so we were in the hospital, and they're trying to figure out, what's the safest way to kind of undo the surgery. And what basically happened was my flesh grew over the surgery, over the procedure. And so they had to literally take these metal scissors and, what do they call them? Forceps? And shred my skin. And no pain medicine. Nothing. And I remember literally BJ was holding my hand, and I'm sitting there crying and praying and saying, God, listen, we asked for this delivery to be easy. Why couldn't it be easy? And the whole pregnancy was so complicated. Why couldn't you just show up here? And he just said, girl, just wait. And just like your flesh is being ripped apart right now, your flesh in the spiritual realm needs to be ripped apart, and you've got to rely on me. And so we did. And I remember in those moments going back to our verses that he had given us early on in the pregnancy. And for me, it was Jeremiah 32:17, where it says, I am the Lord. I've created the heavens and the earth with my outstretched right arm. Nothing's too hard for me. And so I was like, okay, nothing's too hard for you, God. You can do this.
So just hearing that, a lot of times we could just see something and just like, okay, whatever. But we really had to get into it. We really had to believe what we were reading in the scriptures. It had to come to life in our lives and experience that. So we were easily discouraged. We were. But then we knew where our hope was. We knew where our faith was. We knew who ultimately loved us so much that we could have this miracle. And a lot of times, you know, when you're going through a breakthrough, when you're going through, I think anybody can relate to that. When they're going through a breakthrough or a miracle, they have resistance, they have suffering they have to go through. For us, our resistance was that miscarriage. For us, that resistance was the doctor saying no. The suffering was the high-risk pregnancy, the stitches that she had. And it was just tough. It was just very tough. But we knew who our rock was. We knew where our foundation was. And we held on to that. We held on to that with a firm grip, just like you did, you know.
So literally right after that procedure, the doctor's like, oh, you're gonna go home, you'll have the baby in a few weeks. And I was like, listen, lady, this baby's coming out today. And she was like, no, he's not. And so she left us alone for a little bit, and literally my water broke. And within hours, he was here, and the labor was so easy. It was incredible, and he came out, and I just remember asking, literally the first thing I asked was he alive? And the doctor was just like, yes. And then we heard him screaming, and she placed him on us, and it was the most beautiful thing that we could have ever asked for. So we don't know where you're at today, Crossover family, but listen, if you're hoping on a miracle, if you're waiting on something, just keep trusting the Lord. As cliche as that sounds, find your verse that speaks to you. For us, we shared what they were, but he's there waiting to show up. It might not look in the way you want it to look. I wish everything could have been easy, but we know that if it was easy, God might have not gotten the glory the way he did. It was beautiful for our family to witness, for the doctors to witness the miracles. Sometimes your journey, your breakthrough isn't just for you, it's for other people. So keep hoping, keep praying ultimately, and
Believing.
Yeah, keep believing.
So Crossover, we're gonna see you guys soon. We can't wait to see you. Arlo definitely can't wait to see you. We can't wait to be back there, guys, and give you all hugs. We'll see you soon, guys.